Sometime this summer, on the hottest day of the year, you're going to ask an AI a question, and the answer is going to feel slow. Not broken, just slow. You'll blame your Wi-Fi. Here's the part nobody tells you. It might be the weather. Because right now, in a windowless building the size of 6 football fields, a woman we'll call Maya is watching a wall of screens. Maya isn't one person. She's a composite of every data center operator having a very bad July. Her building is one of the giant humming boxes that is the internet. Every app you open, every video you stream, every question you ask an AI, it physically happens in a place like hers. And today, her screens are saying something they should never say. Every cooling fan maxed out. Temperature alarms stacking up faster than she can clear them. Outside, a record heat wave. Inside, thousands of AI chips doing the one thing AI chips do best, turning electricity into heat. We're told the cloud is always on, that it doesn't care about weather. The cloud, we're told, is above all that. But here's the strange part. Nothing in Maya's building is broken. No hacker, no crash, no blackout. A piece of the internet is going down anyway. And the thing taking it down is the air outside. So, how does hot weather beat $1 trillion industry? That's what the next 7 minutes are for. To understand Maya's very bad day, rewind 2 years. Back when this building was somebody's brilliant idea. That somebody is Elena. Her job? Pick where data centers get built. And she did everything right. Mild weather, cheap, reliable power, a tax break the size of a small moon. On paper, the safest bet in the business. Then AI demand exploded, and a third character enters, Ravi. Ravi's job title says capacity planning, but in plain words, Ravi's job is asking for more. More chips, more servers, more computing stuffed into the same rooms. And Ravi always wins, because Ravi's requests come with revenue attached. Every time he won, Maya asked the same quiet question. And how exactly do I cool all that? Nobody answered. Cooling is plumbing. Plumbing is boring. Boring doesn't make the meeting agenda. Then summer showed up, with an agenda of its own. Here's what almost everyone gets wrong about AI. We picture it as something weightless. Software floating in the cloud. There is no cloud. There's just somebody else's computers, in a building like Maya's, drinking from a real power grid. And those computers have a dirty little secret. Nearly every watt of electricity they use ends up as heat. That's not a flaw. That's physics collecting its fee. Now, data centers have handled heat for decades. So what changed? You'd guess more computers. Not quite. It's density. Old servers spread their heat gently across big rooms. Modern AI chips concentrate enormous heat into a space the size of a fridge. Take a cozy fireplace. Replace it with a blowtorch. Same room, very different conversation. And every time Ravi added chips, the building lost something engineers call margin. The safety gap between normal Tuesday and emergency. More heat in the room, thinner gap. Fans strain, power bills climb. Nobody notices because nothing has failed yet. The margin isn't gone, it's just borrowed. And summer is when the loan gets called. Because here's the wall. For decades, data centers cooled themselves the way you cool coffee, by dumping heat into cooler air outside. Spot the load-bearing word? Cooler. During a heat wave, the outside air isn't the solution anymore. It's part of the problem. The heat has nowhere to go. It's like blowing on hot soup inside a sauna. Blow all you want, the room wins. So the industry is racing toward a different answer. Liquid cooling. Stop trying to chill a warehouse of air. Run coolant straight to the chip and carry the heat away directly, the way blood carries heat out of your muscles. Faster, cheaper to run, and it lets you pack chips even tighter. For Ravi, that's a gift. Dense AI clusters that don't cook themselves. For Maya, it's her margin back. And for Elena, her whole job just changed. Picking a site used to mean cheap land and tax breaks. Now it means harder questions. Is there water for the cooling? Will the grid hold? And the uncomfortable one, will this region's summers 10 years from now behave anything like its past? Quietly, with nobody watching, cooling became one of the most important technologies of the AI boom. The plumbing made the agenda. And this isn't one fictional bad day. In 2026, a climate risk firm called First Street analyzed 97 data center markets worldwide. 79% of the world's data center capacity sits exposed to acute climate hazards, floods, wildfires, extreme storms, and 54% sits in regions facing chronic heat and drought. Exactly the conditions that make cooling harder and pricier. Their bottom line? The climate has stopped behaving the way the historical record predicts, which means every site chosen years ago for being mild and stable was chosen using a weather report for a planet that no longer exists. And now, remember your slow chatbot? Here's what's actually happening. On days like Maya's, these buildings usually don't shut down. They protect themselves. The servers deliberately slow down to survive the heat. No flames, no outage banner. AI models train slower. Requests queue up. For a bank running fraud detection, that lag is money. For a hospital, it can be someone's health. For a startup paying by the minute, it's cash on fire. The cloud doesn't break. It just quietly stops working well. On purpose. Back in the control room, the heat peaks and Maya goes into triage, choosing in real time which parts of the internet stay fast, which slow down, and which go dark, with the little cold she has left. The whole slide takes about an hour. Engineers notice. Then customers notice. Then someone screenshots the outage. Then trust starts leaking out of the room. And trust doesn't queue politely like server requests do. Weeks later, the company's statement will be tidy. Cooling limitations during extreme temperatures. Technically true. Completely hollow. Here's the real autopsy. A building designed for yesterday's climate met today's physics. No villain, no hack, just hot air. And that's the thing about our biggest systems. They feel sturdy right up until one boring assumption underneath them quietly gives out. The hard limit on AI isn't always a smarter chip. Sometimes it's a pipe. You can build faster processors, bigger models, taller ambitions. But if the heat can't leave the building, none of it matters. So the AI race isn't just a race for intelligence anymore. It's a race for cooling. Which points somewhere surprising. Some of the biggest winners of the AI era may not be the famous companies building the brains. They may be the unglamorous ones building the plumbing, the pipes, the pumps, the heat exchangers. The companies nobody screenshots. So next time it's brutally hot out and your AI takes a beat too long to answer, that's not your Wi-Fi. That's a building somewhere full of blowtorches trying to stay calm. Because in the age of AI, the future belongs to whoever can keep it cool.